Hey everybody, Ben here from Okie Dokie. I'm going to share some documentation on this OKRs template that we partially built in a previous hot seat with Notion. So what this template does, this is our template here. We have a system for managing OKRs per quarter and for adding a good, better, and best value from the current value where we are to the actual value where we end up. And the health score is calculated based on whether we made it to the good or the better or the best. And the progress tracker is based on our progress to best as expected. And we also have a status display that shows us how far we've gone. So whether we've decreased based on a percentage or by a number. And we also have a health check view, which will show us our objectives based on the health status of the objective. So anybody can come back and have a look and see that key result 1B is in a poor state, decreased by -2, and so on and so forth. So you use the health check to view and the status update to add your numbers so that you get the health checks. Down below, we have the current year objective filtered by the current year and by the quarter and grouped by the quarter, so you can see what's being focused on. So this template does not include anything in terms of teams. If you wanted to add a team select or drop down to this database, you could then make quarterly dashboards per team, so you could filter out by the team as well. So this one's just a general company OKR setup. So I've already duplicated this template into my dummy space, and I've wiped out all of the content from there. You can choose to either make your own versions and then delete the content. That might work better for you, or you can go and wipe the data beforehand. There is a document here, the OKR setup instructions, which walks you through adding that. And the basic operation here is you're going to create a page, and then you're going to open that page, apply a template, and then you're going to follow the instructions in the page. So it kind of walks you through this template by template, and then we can go back and configure our dashboard at the end. So our first step is adding a year. So it says to add a year and apply the OK year template. So let's do that. So I'm going to add 2022, and we'll just open this up, and I'll apply the OK year template. And so you'll see that gave us some instructions here. It's going to load this up. So it says it works best if you name the template after the year. There's some spots where you might want to do some grouping or selecting based on a year. And if you're using rollups, sometimes you can't get through the entire original object. So we use that in a couple places. The second step is to add a group underneath the linked database below. So down below we have a objectives, but these are grouped by quarter. So when we click add a group, that means that we're adding a quarter. So you'll be able to see the objectives grouped by quarter for the whole year below when you look at this year page. So we'll start by adding a group, and I like to call my quarter pages 2022 and then the dash close bracket Q1. Notion's font makes this into a nice little arrow, and I think it looks really nice. So we'll create that page first, and we'll click on that to jump us into the quarter. And again, we're going to apply the template, open the instructions. So it tells us to select the year. So let's do that. And then we'll do the same thing to add our objectives. So down here we have the key results grouped by objective. So whenever we click add a group, that's going to add an objective, which is what we're using to group. So I'll do that same thing, and let's just call this objective 1, and we'll say create. And so these are actually key results listings by objectives. We don't have any key results yet. So let's go into that objectives page. Again, apply the template, read the instructions, make sure the quarter is selected in the properties above. Okay, let's do that. There's different ways to add objectives that will automatically pick the quarter, but I like this process of apply a template, read the instructions. So it's very straightforward. And if you miss a step, you can go back and review the instructions if something isn't working properly. And so now we've just got a straight up list of key results. So it allows us to add a key result to the objective, open it, and apply the key result template and follow the instructions. So let's just say I want to grow, let's see, Twitter follower growth, and oops. Okay, so we'll open that up, growth, and apply the template. And this one doesn't have any fancy stuff except for it automatically turns it into a number. If the number that you're tracking, let's say Twitter followers, my current is, I don't know, 1,000, and that's a number, you just leave it as number. Now, let's say we want to go back up a page and let's add a customer conversion rate or something. Conversion. Okay. And if I go in here and apply the template again, let's say right now my customer conversion rate is 5% or something, or I'll switch this type to percent, and this will set it so that when it shows a status display, it'll show a percent instead of showing a number. So again, the instructions here kind of tell us what this is doing. The health property shows how on target you are along with the status display. So in order to populate the status displays, you set the current value, which is your initial value where you are currently. And then you set the good, better, best values that represent where you want to go. I want to go, let's say I want to go from 5% to 10% would be a good outcome, 15% would be a better outcome, and 20% would be amazing, right? So when I plug in my actual here, you'll see that, let's say I go to 5, it's going to say that my health is poor, there was no change, and this is the progress to best. If I go up to, say, 17, now we're in the better range. My status is increased by 12 from 5% to 17%, and here's our progress to best. And then, of course, if I get to 100% conversion rate, that's insane. We went to 100%, and look at that, we did 500% better than we thought. Great. And it also shows you your diff here as well, so that was how much you've come. So that's how those work. So now that I've got an objective, 2 key results, and I keep hitting command and the left bracket to go back a page, and we've got an objective with 2 key results in our quarter, and within our year we've got a single quarter with 1 objective. So we'll just do that. So I can close out of here, and we'll return to our OKRs to configure and view your dashboard. That's the last step. So nothing's going to show up because the template is pre-populated to filter on the sample data, which no longer exists. So all I need to do is click here again and click the actual data, and it's going to start showing up. So I'll do that for the health check, and for the status update, we'll click that same one again. Sweet. So that's done. Let's see. And then down here below, we've got the same situation where we need to reselect the 2022 page in order to show those properties. Okay, I guess I didn't type the dash bracket. Okay, so now we've got that filtered, and we'll switch over to the all years one. That one should be good to go because we don't have any filters selected for all years. So now you can see under our status update, I've got my customer conversion, the health is good, and here I can then set those numbers. So let's say I get to 1,500, 2,000, and the best will be 2,500. Later on, at the points where I'm measuring my results, my Twitter follower growth, I can plug in that number and it'll show me my health. On the health check side, this one is showing our objectives grouped, well, our key results grouped by objective, and further grouped by, first grouped by status and then grouped by objective. So you can see my customer conversion is in the best category. Let's say that I go in and I actually get to 2,200 followers. You'll see that automatically move to the better thing. So this allows you to have some visualization over time of the health of your goals, and you can track these here and focus on the things that are in the poor and good range and get them over to this better and best range. Yeah, so there's some things that could be improved here. There's different ways that you can also connect this to your existing systems. You could further extract the key results tracking into a target database if you wanted to, and that way you could say the same key results you could be measuring at certain points over time, and then you would have that historical data that you could turn into a graph as well. But this one keeps it simple. It's just a one-time measurement thing. You go and update the measurement over time, and then you can, create new objectives each quarter or each year. Let me know if you have any questions. Happy to help, and hopefully this template is useful. See ya.